And I'm Emma Dollimer. Welcome to Newswatch, your source for news impacting southeastern Ohio. A judge has put a hold on a state law banning local governments from passing their own gun control measures.
Judge Stephen McIntosh has frozen a law the city of Columbus argues violates his right to home rule authority. According to Ohio law, home rule authority implies each level of government has a separate level of authority. Ohio Attorney General Dave Yost argues the city of Columbus has failed to show how it has been damaged by the challenges of the law. Yost also says cities do not have the authority to regulate firearms in a way that conflict with state law. Columbus City Attorney Zach Klein says the Constitution gives cities the authority to make their own gun ordinances. Klein says the issue will likely head to the Ohio Supreme Court. A bill making changes in Ohio voting laws is likely a top priority for Republicans after the election. Republican State Representative Bill Scheitz of Cincinnati proposes a bill to create online ballot requests with 2 forms of ID. Scheitz's new law would also limit the amount of locations and window of time for ballot drop boxes and shorten the period to request early ballots. Critics of this bill have said it is hard for some voters to travel for voter IDs, and laws surrounding the issue would reduce voter turnout. Scheitz says he is talking with Senate Republicans on what will stay in the bill.
Residents of Coolville will vote on whether their village will remain in their control or in the hands of Troy Township and other entities on Election Day. I talked to those involved with the issue to learn more about what the repercussions of the vote could mean for residents. To be or not to be a village? That's the question facing the residents in Coolville on the ballot on Tuesday.
I do know that there are some people who want to dissolve it, and I do know that there are some people who want to continue as a village. And I don't know how the breakdown will happen on November, but it's just, it's a choice that the residents have to make in terms of weighing, like I said, the issues of local control over local issues, how they want those to come out.
How people vote will determine what entity controls things like water usage, utilities, electric, sewers, streetlights, and streets. If voters decide to dissolve the village, Troy Township would be responsible for maintaining the streets, but the control of other services is unknown. The future of Coolville has divided the village, with lots of people making their position known. But the outcome of the vote will not immediately solve the issue Coolville faces of having a lack of people to perform typical governmental tasks.
The one thing that maybe I could say about the outcome, however the vote comes out, doesn't mean that any issues will go away or be solved. The village will continue and the residents will continue to need to address those issues, whether it's in terms of sewer service, water sewer service, street lights, street repair, just basic, village government. Those issues won't go away. It's who will be in position to decide those issues. Will it continue to be the village, or will that be given up to another entity?
Reporting for Newswatch, I'm Emma Dollimer. Regardless if the majority of people vote yes or no on the issue 7, Coolville will still be a village following Election Day because the dissolution process could potentially take years.
Parking space changes on College Street have a lot of people left with concerns. Reporter Reese Thompson has the full story.
The parking space layout on this stretch of College Street looks very different from the rest of the street. The city of Athens changed the parking layout after it decided to end its lease of the parking lot next to the police station.
When we were looking across the area of where to park cruisers, we thought the safest place was across from the police station because cruisers are vandalized pretty frequently. I mean, that's just a thing that happens in every city, and so we would want them to be in a spot that could have a camera directly on them.
The new changes to parking on South College Street has caused a hassle for people trying to park here, changing parallel parking like this to backup parking like this.
It's not working for Athens at all.
Now, with more narrow streets for drivers, the back-end parking is imperative for safety, according to city officials.
If you do it correctly, it's safer because when you go to, number one, it's easier to get into the space as opposed to parallel parking. Number two, when you go to pull out, you can just look to your left and see traffic and pull away.
But some people living on College Street aren't big fans of the changes.
I think having like parallel parking on the side just gave you more room on the street, but also having free parking options like on the weekends. Like now that lot's not even free. It's like when my parents come to visit, where are they supposed to park? Nowhere.
I don't think it makes sense for us. We have less parking on College Street now. I've seen tons of people get ticketed for pulling in rather than backing in. I think it's just going to increase ticket revenue for the city more than anything.
And as people get used to the changes on College Street, city officials say they are considering making similar changes to other areas uptown. For Newswatch, I'm Reese Thompson.
Payment for parking on College Street is required Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. and free on the weekends. It's been abnormally warm here in Athens. Here is a live look outside of University Gateway at Ohio University. Here to explain this November heat wave is forecaster Silver Barker. Now tell us, Silver, is it time to break out the beach towels?
Well, you know what, Andre? I would usually say no to that this time of year. However, I'm going to have to go ahead and say yes, although I would not recommend going to a beach in Ohio. I definitely do recommend getting out there and taking a look at those wonderful warm temperatures that we have been having, especially today. Looking at Athens currently, 73 degrees is our temperature, and clear skies has been very lovely as well. And I'm not talking about just here in Athens. Taking a look around, even cities neighboring Athens have been in the 70s for most of today and are in the 70s currently. And then taking a look at our local radar, I mean, not even a speck of rain in the past few hours, which is lovely and wonderful. Always a great thing to see on our radar, especially in November for fall temperature. And 57 is our overnight low. So now if you maybe have some plans for, evening tonight here in Athens. I know it's Father's weekend, so maybe some of you have came down and have evening plans to go get dinner. You definitely can, and you should be in the clear for that. Partly cloudy skies, and if you have plans to leave Athens, you can do that as well because there will be no rain. But Andre, if you're thinking about going to a beach, definitely make sure to bring a jacket.
Will do. On Wednesday, the 8th annual Athena Award was given out by the City of Athens. The award honors people who make the community of Athens more accessible for people with disabilities. Newswatch reporter Victoria Niemsch attended the ceremony and spoke with the winner.
This year's Athena Award 2022 was given to Barry Dilly for her involvement and efforts in the community to better the lives of people with disabilities.
Really, really touching to feel that what I've been doing was appreciated or recognized,
Dilly has been advocating for people who live with disabilities almost all her life.
She is an amazing person, and she's also someone who really brings you to task, to go that extra mile.
Patterson also praised the diligence and advocacy work of the Commission in giving a voice to people with disabilities. He hopes the award continues to contribute to overcoming the stigma people with disabilities still often face and to make Athens a more inclusive community for everyone. The Athena Award is given out annually by the Athens City Commission on Disabilities. Established in 2015, this year marks the 8th anniversary. It is the only award given out by the city and recognizes citizens' efforts to transform Athens into a more accessible and inclusive community.
This award is really a celebration, not just of the nominees and the award recipient for the Athena Award this year, but really as a celebration of everyone in the disability community in Athens.
Other nominees were Athens On Demand Transit, PassionWorks artist in residence Nancy Appling, advocate and People First founder William Peacock, and Rachel Ulbrich. As for Dilly, she now wants to focus on making the city more accessible for elderly people, an issue she says has not been getting enough attention until now. Reporting for Newswatch, I'm Victoria Niemsch.
Nominations for next year's award are set to open soon. Gubernatorial candidates weigh in on how to solve economic insecurity in Ohio. Plus, new job numbers are released just 4 days before the midterm elections. These stories and more when we return.
Crypto, what is it?
20% a working technology and 80% a utopian vision.
Is it a flash in the pan?
There's a lot of hucksters out there trying to sell their snake oil.
Or a new technology here to stay?
It's not going to vanish. What it's used for has yet to be fully determined.
Everything should be on the blockchain, whether it's a movie or the way we rent a car.
Crypto Decoded on Nova.
Wednesday at 9 on WOUB.
Next time on Antiques Roadshow, Roadshow revisits some remarkable revelations from the Alamo City, San Antonio.
What you have here is 1905 World Series program, incredibly scarce.
I'm loving the cows. I am loving the cows.
Take my breath away. Find out which values peaked and which plummeted next time on Antiques Roadshow Vintage San Antonio, Hour 2.
Monday at 8 on WOUB.
Next time on The War. Horrors.
There is no apology that can ever atone for what I saw.
Victory. And homecoming.
We went out as a bunch of kids, and we came back. Looked maybe the same, but inside we were so different.
The final chapter of The War.
Thursday at 9 on WOUB.
Deep in Texas, there is a very elusive and endangered cat population.
The ocelot's range within Texas has been shrinking because of a number of human-related factors. The efforts for ocelot conservation, I feel, have been in vain. Time is not a friend of ours.
I hope you can see that. We got the ocelot kittens. Oh my God.
Every kitten is precious.
Wednesday at 8 on WOUB.
Candidates for Ohio governor are releasing their plans for tackling poverty in Appalachia.
Appalachia, Ohio has long struggled economically compared to the rest of the state. Republican incumbent Mike DeWine and Democratic challenger Nan Whaley are taking similar stances on how to cover poverty in the region. Both candidates believe expanding broadband access and infrastructure improvements in the region would help Appalachia economically. DeWine says he plans to leverage $232 million in grant money to bring broadband access to 230,000 Ohioans. Whaley says she wants to focus on clean energy, jobs, and provide opportunities to workers previously in the fossil fuel industry. Neither candidate has made significant statements about food insecurity in the state.
The latest jobs report released today is giving us a clearer snapshot of the strengths of the U.S. economy. As a whole, employers keep on hiring, but the unemployment rate rose slightly since September.
Ivan Rodriguez breaks down the latest numbers and the impact it's having across the country.
Just days away from the midterm elections, latest polling shows one of the biggest concerns for voters in both parties remains the state of the economy, making the latest monthly jobs report even more important.
We saw another robust gain in total employment of 261,000. What this tells us is that there really aren't any true job cracks yet forming in the labor market.
Economist Joe Brusuela says although the unemployment rate jumped 0.2 percentage point to 3.7% in October, what the country is seeing is in part a result of long-term demographic trends.
We have more than 10,000 baby boomers retiring a day, and we saw roughly about 358,000 people exit the labor force in what we call the household survey that's used to derive the unemployment rate.
For some in the restaurant industry, the latest numbers paint a sobering picture of where the economy is headed. According to the National Restaurant Association, in recent months, many restaurants have increased menu prices while also reducing hours of operation. Chef Bobby Flay says he's already seeing a shift in the industry.
Restaurants are going to have to keep charging more money to survive.
And for Brusuelas, the pace of hiring remains robust and overall, the unemployment rate remains relatively low.
Your job is not at risk. But what it does mean is the economy is in transition. You're going to see hiring freezes. It may become a little bit more difficult to switch jobs or to get a new one at higher pay.
I'm Ivan Rodriguez reporting.
According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, the number of unemployed persons rose by 360,000 to 6.1 million. Daylight savings ends on Sunday. How you can save a few Z's. That story's still ahead.
And in Athens today, we've been seeing some great temperatures. 76 is our temperature high, but will that continue? Find out in my full forecast coming up next. And if you want more of Newswatch, you can check us out on YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter.
Coming up on the next Song of the Mountains.
I think my sweet baby's got leaning on her mind.
Lively performances where old tradition meets new, here on Song of the Mountains.
Thursday at 8 on WOUB.
Oh my goodness, this week's games are insane. Eastern gets a shot at vengeance against TVC hockey champions Waterford. Granville heads to Jackson. Can the Granville defense stop that explosive Jackson offense? And Bloom Carroll is coming off a 48-point win in round one, but the Tri-Valley Scotties haven't allowed more than 40 points since 2016. Tune in Friday night at 11:30 on WOUB for the full breakdown. And remember, there's nothing better than Friday nights and Gridiron Glory.
Control of Congress hanging in the balance. President Biden taking on the Trump wing.
Extreme MAGA Republicans full of anger, violence, hate, and division.
Republicans counting on support from the former president.
You're going to send J.D. Vance to the U.S. Senate.
Consequential state races. Election night 2022, Tuesday, November 8th at 8 p.m. Eastern.
Next time on Antiques Roadshow, Roadshow revisits some remarkable revelations from the Alamo City, San Antonio.
What you have here is 1905 World Series program, incredibly scarce.
I'm loving the cows. I am loving the cows.
Take my breath away. Find out which values peaked and which plummeted next time on Antiques Roadshow Vintage San Antonio, Hour 2.
Monday at 8 on WOUB.
Welcome back to Newswatch. I'm forecaster Silver Barker. And if you've been looking for a conversation starter, wonderful weather we're having is definitely one you can use in November, actually, for this time of year, because 76 is our temperature high that we've been experiencing today. Mostly sunny skies, and we don't see that often in November, especially, and we're looking at some rain as well. But for today, not rain. Any speck of rain has passed in the past few hours, so that is a lovely thing to see. In our regional radar, however, we do see it's a little bit of rain that seems to be heading our way, and following behind that, we've got a bit of snow, and we've also got some rain mixed in and some, mixed rain with snow as well, just trailing behind that. But taking a look at tonight, 57 will be our overnight low. Again, if you have evening plans in Athens, you can definitely get out and enjoy that because we'll have partly cloudy skies, but that rain won't be here. Unfortunately for tomorrow, we do see 20% showers possible, and 80 is our temperature high. That is actually kind of crazy because we don't see that in November. Again, like I've mentioned earlier, for fall weather, we do not see that. So definitely get out and enjoy that while you can. Find some plans that you could do for tomorrow on a lovely Saturday. However, we do see that rain will come in tomorrow night, unfortunately. So like I said, wake up early if you can and get out and enjoy those plans for Saturday on that 80-degree weather, because then again, we're facing that 20%. But then if we take a look at Sunday, we do see that we've got 50% chance of showers. So that rain does pick up a little bit more. And like I said, that will come in tomorrow night. We'll experience a little bit of some light to medium rain hitting our area. 72 degrees will be our temperature high. However, if you do not like rain as much as, some people may love the rain, but looking at Monday and Tuesday, it will be sunny, so don't worry if you're not a lover for the rain. You've got 72 degrees hidden on Monday, and then Tuesday, 68, and it will stay the same for Wednesday. Unfortunately, it's looking like towards later that week, Thursday and Friday, we do see some more chances of showers, and that seems to be that fall weather finally kicking in. Maybe, who's to know, but maybe Saturday might be the last day to enjoy it. 80-degree weather before we get to that rain mixed in with some snow, which is not great. So especially Andre, I know you were talking about going to the beach earlier, but if you do, make sure you just do it before Saturday night.
Thanks, Silver. Lighter mornings and darker evenings are on the way. Daylight savings time comes to an end this weekend. At 2 a.m. Sunday, U.S. clocks will turn back 1 hour and revert to standard time. shifting sunrise and sunset an hour earlier and ushering in 4+ months of darker winter evenings. It comes as lawmakers debate whether the long-standing tradition should be eliminated. The Senate approved the bipartisan Sunshine Protection Act in March, which would make daylight saving time permanent, but the bill has stalled in the House.
Now, the time change can sometimes throw off your sleep. Mandy Gaither has more on how not to lose sleep.
If shifting your clock has you reaching for another cup of joe in the morning, you're not alone.
When you lose an hour or gain an hour, you're playing with your body's clock overall, and this can cause a lot of different consequences.
Neurologist Mari Horvat with Cleveland Clinic's Sleep Disorder Center says it's easier to see the struggle to the time change in spring, but falling back can be hard on your body as well. That's why she says it's important to make some changes now. Gradually shift your internal clock by adjusting sleep and wake times by 15 or 20 minutes a day.
It might seem like it's a small change. It might seem like, gosh, I get this extra time to sleep in, but it really can have detrimental effects, and especially on our mood overall.
Horvat says limiting caffeine and alcohol before bed can help too. Exercise and sun exposure can also allow your body to be sleepy at the right time.
We're asking our bodies to make this change that we're not giving the right input for, right? When it's light outside, we should be awake. When it's dark, we should be going to sleep. We're going against what our body's fundamentally built for. So it's normal that this can be a difficult thing for people.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
If you continue to have problems sleeping, talk to your doctor to see if there's another condition behind the sleep disruptions and if there's a lifestyle change or another therapy you can try. Now, like we always say, there is nothing better than Friday Night Lights and Gridiron Glory.
Gridiron Glory host Jacob Mata joined us live from Tri-Valley High School. How long till kickoff, Jacob?
Guys, we're about 10 minutes away from kickoff here in Dresden, and I'll give you guys the lowdown on the Gridiron Glory Game of the Week, as well as some other playoff games in our coverage. It's a look at games all across the 740 right after the break. Until then, take a look at what's coming up tonight on your public television station.
Crypto, what is it?
20% a working technology and 80% a utopian vision.
Is it a flash in the pan?
There's a lot of hucksters out there trying to sell their snake oil.
Or a new technology here to stay?
It's not going to vanish. What it's used for, it has yet to be fully determined.
Everything should be on the blockchain, whether it's a movie or the way we rent a car.
Crypto Decoded on Nova.
Wednesday at 9 on WOUB.
Control of Congress hanging in the balance. President Biden taking on the Trump wing.
Extreme MAGA Republicans full of anger, violence, hate, and division.
Republicans counting on support from the former president.
You're going to send J.D. Vance to the U.S. Senate.
Consequential state races. Election night 2022, Tuesday, November 8th at 8 p.m. Eastern.
Next time on The War. Horrors.
There is no apology that can ever atone for what I saw.
Victory. And homecoming.
We went out as a bunch of kids, and we came back. Looked maybe the same, but inside we were so different.
The final chapter of The War.
Thursday at 9 on WOUB.
Oh my goodness, this week's games are insane. Eastern gets a shot at vengeance against TVC hockey champions Waterford. Granville heads to Jackson. Can the Granville defense stop that explosive Jackson offense? And Bloom Carroll is coming off a 48-point win in round one, but the Tri-Valley Scotties haven't allowed more than 40 points since 2016. Tune in Friday night at 11:30 on WOUB for the full breakdown. And remember, there's nothing better than Friday nights and Gridiron Glory.
It's Friday, and that means it's football night for schools across the 740.
Gridiron Glory host Jacob Mata joined us live from Tri-Valley High School with a look at games to watch tonight. How's it looking out there, Jacob?
Guys, the weather is perfect for some playoff football, and we're about 5 minutes away from kickoff. Let me tell you guys, the matchups this week are insane. I'm here at our Gridiron Glory Game of the Week where the Tri-Valley Scotties are facing their biggest test yet, the Bloom Carroll Bulldogs. The Tri-Valley Scotties have one of the best defenses in our coverage area, let alone the MVF. but they will be put to the test tonight against the high-powered Bloom Carroll Bulldogs. The Scotties haven't given up more than 21 points since week 2, proving they can shut down anyone. But don't look past the offense. In their last 2 games, they've outscored opponents 71-17, so they're getting hot at the perfect time. Their only losses come at the hands of Columbus powerhouse St. Francis de Sales and the Sheridan Generals, who they lost to by just 1 point. But the Bulldogs have one of the best offenses in the 7-4-0. Bloom Carroll has scored more than 28 points every week since their lone week 1 loss to Harvest Prep. And they can do it all. Air the ball out downfield, and as soon as you drop somebody in coverage, the ground game from Chase Plants, Dylan Armentrout, and Andrew Marshall will eat you alive. And the defense is killer as well. They've won their last 2 games by the same score of 48-0, and they posted 4 total shutouts this year, so this one is looking like a thriller. We'll break down the game as well as the other games we're covering on Gridiron Glory tonight at 11:30 p.m. on WOUB. We'll have a rematch between the top 2 teams in the TVC Hawking, Waterford and Eastern. The Eagles look to get revenge on their regular season loss behind Raleigh Barrett and company. Both teams play very physical, and this is set up for a good old Southeast Ohio smash-mouth football game. Nelsonville York is defending home turf against Loudonville and their high-powered offense. Both teams cruise through their week 1 victories, but this week won't be as easy. Leighton Logie and the Buckeyes have to play at their very best to come away with a win. The Granville Blue Aces head south to Jackson to take on the Ironmen. Granville has one of the best defenses in the LCL, and they're going up against one of the best offenses in the FAC. This could turn into one high-scoring affair in the 7-4-0. The Sheridan Generals host the Washington Courthouse Blue Lions in another MBL FAC matchup. The Blue Lions offense has to go up against the tough Sheridan defense, but don't count them out. They scored 61 points in their round 1 playoff game against Columbus South. Yes, you heard that right, 61. So the Generals better come locked in. West Jeff is making the long trip to Dawson Bryant High School to take on the Coal Grove Hornets. Chase Hall had a huge game last week for the Hornets. He's going to have to do it again in order to take down the Rough Riders. But West Jeff plays a very tough schedule, so they will come prepared. The Wheelersburg Pirates head to Barnesville to take on one of the last undefeated teams left in the 7-4-0, the Shamrocks. This is going to be a physical game between both defenses, but the Pirates have to find a way to slow down that high-powered Barnesville offense. There's a ton of playoff action to get through, so make sure you tune in to Gridiron Glory tonight at 11:30 p.m. and tomorrow at 11:30 a.m. on WOUB. For now, guys, I'll throw it back to you in studio.
Thanks, Jacob. We will definitely be watching tonight.
For those of you going out to cheer on your local team, here is Silver with a final look at your weather.
Well, you definitely can get out and enjoy that beautiful game because 57 will be our overnight low, so it won't get too chilly. However, I do recommend bringing a jacket if you are planning on going to a game and being out in that weather for a while. Partly cloudy skies as well, so we won't have any sun. Of course, that sun will be down by then. But Athens tomorrow, temperature high is 80 and temperature low is 57, 20% showers possible. Again, that rain could possibly come in starting more towards the evening of tomorrow. And for our 7-day outlook, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, we should be looking at some beautiful weather. However, when we jump to Thursday and Friday, we will be running into some rain possibly. And that is it for now. Over to you, Andre.
Thanks, Silver. And finally tonight, the Powerball jackpot is now the world's largest lottery prize ever offered. Powerball announced today its jackpot has grown to be worth an estimated $1.6 billion. That beats the last world's record of $1.58 billion, also set by Powerball in 2016. If someone wins, they can choose to get the entire sum of money in gradual payments over 29 years or a lump sum payment of over $782 million. The lottery's next drawing is tomorrow at 11 p.m.
And that does it for our broadcast this evening. Thanks for watching. For all of us here at Newswatch, I'm Emma Dollamere.
And I'm Andre Neural. Stay tuned for the PBS NewsHour coming up next. And remember, you can always find the latest news anytime at WOUB.org. Or follow us on social media. Have a great night.
Donating your old car, motorcycle, or truck helps support public television. And it may get you a pretty nice tax deduction, too. Plus, we make donating your car easy. Just call our toll-free number or visit us online.